topics about leadership mostly and entrepreneur. And so welcome. Today we'll be talking about identity. Yes. Yeah. We have our guest KWILASON and not our guest actually. We are all hosts. So my fellow hosts, KWILASON and FALECIA. So yeah. Yes. What is it about identity? What is on the table today?
So I would, identity is quite a huge issue, and I think every young person, once in a while, they have these questions that they have about themselves, like wanting to figure themselves out, like who am I, and what is the society expecting of me, what are my parents or my guardians expecting of me. So it can be a little bit of a confusion sometimes, like too many expectations. At the same time, you have your own desires of what you want yourself to be. And sometimes those desires can be influenced by the things that you're exposed to that can affect your identity positively or negatively. So I was speaking to KWILASON earlier, and he was saying like there are three phases of a person. So there's an ideal point, ideal identity, like the person that you want to be, like you desire to be, that that image that you see yourself becoming.
Yes.
And then there is, what's the second one?
Yeah, you can carry on.
Yes.
Yeah.
The actual you. So that is where now you are, the person that you are, how you identify yourself at this moment right now. And now the other one is the old identity, like what are you expected to be. So yeah, and it was very interesting as he was letting us know how those three, when they're different, the person you ought to be, what is expected of you to be, the person that you are now, and the person that you desire or somebody else desires for you. And if they are completely different three people, then that can be a whole mess, I would say, when it comes to identity. Maybe what are your thoughts, KWILASON, on that, as maybe a person or something like that?
In my side, identity is something which, as you said earlier, something which is very difficult to identify or to just define it. So I think it's combined knowledge of self, the knowledge of self which makes you come to conclusion that this is who I am.
Maybe I cut you short. When you say knowledge of yourself, what does that knowledge consist of? What is it about yourself that you need to know?
I can say, when I say knowledge, first I mean the information you have about yourself. This information can be the information which you receive from the environment, your parents, your friends, your teachers. What are they talking about you? What are they telling you? And to some people, what they think. When this information, which gives you knowledge of yourself, when they combine together and you reach conclusion of those information, you make a decision, that's when you become that is when you identify yourself. Okay? They say this, they say this, I think this, now this is who I am. Self-awareness that you are aware of. And sometimes can be negative, it can be positive. That is what I can say about identity.
Okay. So from what I have heard from you, what I hear from other people, what they say, the people around me, the environment that surrounds me, that helps me to identify myself, to have the knowledge of identifying myself. Then maybe I can add a few comments that what people say helps you identify yourself, but you also need to have some, information. You need to know what you are capable of. I mean, what identifies you, So there are many parts that make you identify yourself. Yeah. So which path do you choose to give you the knowledge that okay, this is me? Yeah.
Well, I would like to address that. We can just also talk about it. Like, for instance, there are things that you are told.
Yeah.
Like as he said, that they come with knowledge, and there are things that you experience, and there are things that I think they come by default. Like, for instance, the issue of gender.
Yeah.
When you're born, you're either a boy or a girl. You know, it's just biological. It's given by our Creator. So that knowledge, I'm already identified as a female or a male. So there is nothing that I can do about it. But unfortunately now, I mean, we know of how the evolution with gender now. Now it's not about female or male. There are things in between, the transgender and things like that. And maybe those now can be a result of something happening now. After that, how do you, because you find yourself now a female or a male. Now what comes in between, whether it's the exposure, the things, now we come back to knowledge. The things you hear, the things you see, you experience, and now that is what is going to completely change your ideas about how you identify yourself. But now, as you're saying, there is also a matter of choice. Yeah. So no matter how much you can get, your parents can raise you and tell you that you're a girl or you're a boy, and will raise you like a boy, like a man, you know, a future father or something. But now it's you to choose, you know, depending on the information you receive, because your parents will not protect you every day. So if you're receiving some information that, you know, you think you are entertaining such thoughts, or you are welcoming such thoughts, and start believing, because now that is you, the choice and the belief in that thing. If you say I'm not good enough, and you start believing that I'm not good enough, or you heard that I'm not good enough, and then you start believing that, you know, I'm terrible, I'm ugly, that is how you're going to identify yourself. So yeah, this is very interesting, and it's also opening my understanding in that way, that it's the knowledge, it's what the things you're exposed to, the things that you are naturally having, and
what
then the belief.
What you choose to hear,
yes.
I think what you focus on doing or embrace. So that really gives you the knowledge of who you are.
That's very true.
Yeah. So back to what KWILASON said at first, that there is an ideal self, actual self, and old self. Yeah. So an actual self is the self which you are at the moment, right now. Yes. Now, when you speak of ideal and old, which self does a person wants to be? Yeah. Which self is a person eager to be? Is it an old self or an ideal self?
Well, the ideal self and the old self, most of the time, they contradict each other. When other people, they think you should be what you are not desiring to be. It's when we face some difficulties in our lives. Let's say you want to be a musician, but your parents want you to be a doctor.
So the doctor is what you ought to be, and the musician is your ideal, the desired.
Yes.
Okay, desired. So
let's say by that time, the person is still studying. It's not yet a musician, it's not yet a doctor. So he is in a position to make a decision. He has an ideal self and the old one. Yeah. So it depends now on the person or decision making ability. As you said earlier, when we make our personal identity, sometimes it's, in spite of the knowledge and information, it can be due to the decision. So if the parents or if the environment is more influential, sometimes people, they deny the ideal self and adapt to old self. Vice versa.
Oh, so it's more of, as you said, focusing on which self, yeah? So if let's say your parents influences you to focus on on your old self, you become attached to that knowledge. And okay, yes, thank you.
Maybe a point to add. Some people, especially nowadays, most parents, they are aware of these things.
Yeah. Yes.
So when a child has an ideal self, the parents, they does not want that children to be something else. They support him or her in what he is doing.
Okay.
So if your child is wanting to be football and you are supporting him to be a footballer, then the old self is not there.
Okay.
So the old self will match with
the ideal self.
Okay.
Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, and so that can also minimize a lot of pressure because sometimes we live to please other people, and because they're there to support us, you know, as you're saying, if your parents say we're not going to pay for you your musician course or your classes, then if we can only sponsor you if we are going to do medicine. So that means you just have to get rid of your ideal self, which really frees you and makes you to be, you know, to do things at the best of you.
Yes. So I think maybe one question. What do you think makes parents or guardians that support children to reach their old self? Yes. Yeah. I mean, what is it right now? Because maybe our parents or the parents of the back years didn't support the children, which are now these parents who are supporting their children. What does it make them support their children right now?
I think when we come back to the ideal self, you have your ideas about yourself.
Yes.
And you identify yourself. Even your family is part of yourself. So sometimes most people, when they think about what they want to achieve in life, they go far and think about what they want for their children.
Yes.
So I'm not so sure, but according to my observation, is that nowadays most people, they are aware, they have exposure. They have seen the effect of forcing someone to be what he or she doesn't want to be. So because of that, because of most people have witnessed the effect. So most people now, they have decided, let a child do what?
Okay. So it's like they first and now they see that doing it this and that has much opportunity and yes. Okay. So one last thing I wanted to ask is what you do, does it make you or give you the knowledge of identifying yourself? Yeah, what you are capable of doing. Let's say you are a football player, you can draw, you can sing, Does it give you the knowledge that, okay, this is me?
For me, I think of myself and the things I do. I teach, I present, I write. Those are the things that I enjoy doing. I communicate. So in those points when I do that is when I feel like, the best of me is really given out. And then now, at that point, I really don't look at myself. I don't look at my weaknesses. I don't look at my shortfalls. I don't look at, the things that, could give me reasons not to do something. At that moment, I feel like I'm flying. So I would say that when I do something that I'm capable of doing, when I'm at my best platform, I think that gives me great identity. Like I feel this is what makes me. Though you know, when identity is a whole big thing, because they're saying it's a whole, the things you have, the things that make you, the things, you know, as you say, family can be a part of identifying you, your tribe, and things like that. It's a lot of many factors. But again, there are people who say when you're stripped of everything, and if somebody takes everything from you, like your money, your family, your what, that which remains with you is what really is you. So maybe, but so that's for my case.
So that involves what you are capable of.
Yeah, for me, what I'm doing my best, because that is what I believe I'm created by God to do. Just that I can serve humanity, I can serve the world, I can serve God through what I do. So I feel like it's a fulfillment. That is my thing. That's my identity.
Yes. You have a nice point there. That you what if everything is removed from you? Yes, your family. You said money and the other stuff. Yeah. So what you are capable of doing helps you or gives you the knowledge of identifying yourself. Now my question is, you said you can do a lot of things. You write, you teach, so.
Not a lot, but
yes, of course. So, is it? I mean, do you have to focus on one area, to give it much strength, and maybe do the other things not as much as you do on one thing, let's say, or do you have to focus on all the areas at once, Because I think there is an effect when you focus on one area and many areas, like all of them, So what is your opinion on that?
Okay, I think when it comes to self-discovery and knowing your identity, it's a journey. It's not something that you just wake up and say, I not wake up and say I can write. It's something I had to develop over time, since when I was about 12, 13. The same way for speaking, I was shy. I didn't know if I could speak in front of people, but it's something that I could close my eyes over when I was young and seeing myself just speaking to people and seeing lives transformed. So it took a lot of learning, trying different things, relating with different people, and all those people, that's what I'm saying. There are many factors that can be used to identify you in different stages of life, and you need the experience in every stage of your life. You need to see what is not to identify you for you to know what is to identify you. You need to detach yourself. These labels, I've been with them, they did not help me, they did not define me. I just get rid of them and I adapt new things. So it's a journey, I would say. And the more you are open-minded and willing to learn and to experience different things is now, but knowing your stand, your values and things that ground you. That's how you really come with a sense of like a strong definition, because you'll find that you get clarity. You find that there are certain things that keep on reappearing in every stage, and now a collection of those common things is what now you can say, this is what should really, identify me, because it's the patterns that are similar. Okay, I would answer it that way.
Okay, I think when doing many things, everything has a challenge, So maybe you can do this, then maybe you can write, Then when you go forward, you find you face some challenges. Then you think, okay, maybe this is kind of hard, or maybe I can teach. Why don't I teach and keep writing aside as my thing I just do by myself, Then you teach, and you face also some challenges. Then you shift to another thing, I don't know what will it be, If it goes that way, do you need to do you need to decide, okay, I can teach, I can write, but let me just write, So even if there are challenges, I'll just go over them and I'll just write. I want writing to be like maybe let's say the face of me, Then teaching will be like, is it that way? Or maybe you can just go, okay, let me write our challenges now, teach, or challenges now, maybe sing, challenges now, I can do this, no, Which do we choose from you? do we just keep on trying, then we face challenges, we stop, or we choose one focus area, okay, let me write and do with the other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll talk and then you can also share your experience at KWILASON. But for me, because I speak, I write, but now, if you ask me many years back about my writing, I would say that is like zero. Like I won't be very good writer or something. But it's something that has come over time, and I think I can write better than I speak. But people would say maybe I could speak a little bit better than how I write. But now but I don't write very often. I don't have the time to really, sit down, because I need to really get focused and write.
Yes.
But now if I say I have to wait until I sit down and write, because that is the best thing that I really feel, then it might not happen as much. Yeah. So what matters is where you are positioned and what you can do now. And now, okay, it's not about just trying things because I have a strength in a certain thing. There are many factors. First, it has to be something you really are passionate about, something that is linked to your talent. By talent means it's your inborn ability, it's your natural ability. So what things flow naturally to you. And you cannot know what is your talent or what is your area of gifting if you don't try different things. That's where now we come out with the trying of different things. And once you find, like, every time I write, I feel like the best of me, like I'm top of the game, then that could be your thing, that could be your talent. But now if you have like 2 or 3, I can write, I can, let's say, read, or I can speak. And now I feel like the best of all. How do I choose one? Now that depends on so many factors. Depends on the time you get to practice, because every talent, no matter how, Cristiano Ronaldo is the best footballer, but he practices.
Yeah.
So how much time do you think you have to practice? How much platform are you given? For me, I have more platforms to speak more than platforms where I can write.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Thank you. Let's hear a bit from KWILASON.
When she was talking about self-identity, she mentioned something which I think is very important, that self-discovery is a journey. You see, not everybody has a self-identity, and I can assure you, most people, they don't have self-identity. Most of people. Because even to become self-aware, to become aware of yourself, it's like you need some information that will trigger your mind to try to think who I am. But many people lives in fear of tomorrow. So what they think is how tomorrow will be. They don't have time to think who I am, what I want to be, where I want to go.
Yes.
They think only how tomorrow will end. Also, not having self-identity is not a crime, because self-identity is a process. So what I can say is that if a person doesn't have self-identity, and maybe he listens to us right now, it's not a matter of feeling guilt, shame, it's a matter of trying to figure out. Let's take the example for myself. I had ideas about what I wanted to do, and I was always trying to discover. And I am always trying to discover more. But I remember when I was from 6, I read one book, Gifted Hand, by Ben Carson. So that is where I really wanted to know more about myself. And as time goes on, my ideas about myself is expanded. Then another point I wanted to make is our idea about self most of time does not come from us. It comes from other people, especially those which we think they are important to us, which their opinion matters to us. So I think it's necessary for us to be careful on what we comment to other people, what we say about other people.
Very true, very true.
Yeah, sometimes you can see someone. I remember when I was standard 6. I remember I was carrying a bag of marijuana flower.
Okay.
Then I was
Marijuana band.
yes. Those of Rastafari. Yeah.
Okay.
It was not mine actually. And I was just a kind of stubborn boy. And someone look at me say, I'm not sure if you will finish his standard 7. Yeah. And he has facts, but sometimes facts is not truth. So sometimes I think we should hold our facts. When we are saying something to someone, we choose our words wisely, because we affect other people's personality and ideas about themselves.
Okay. So thank you. Okay, it is an interesting topic. So for those who are watching, yeah, you're welcome and hope you enjoyed the session. Identity is a huge topic, is a huge issue. Yes. So it's not only about you, but also the people who surround you. Yeah, that is what we have learned today. So I think maybe we should end here today. Then we'll see what we'll discuss next session. So for those who are watching, we'll tell you when our next session will be. Yeah, thank you.
Please follow and subscribe to our social media pages or contact us to register for our programs.